Hello, my name is Corinne, and this is my beautiful daughter, Ash. And this is all about cancer is not a death sentence.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier, and we're talking about cancer is not a death sentence. Life is a death sentence. And so, we talk about because of my cancer, my journey and my cancer, I'm going to get tests done on December 10th. And it's like, I feel great. I go to the gym, I go for walks. Am I slower? Yes. But am I doing okay? I am. But let's talk about the people that aren't. And
Yeah.
breaks my heart. Like seriously breaks my heart. So we're going to talk about, I'd like to talk about um, when you've done everything and they're saying there's not much hope left. There's always hope. Just remember, I
Yeah.
remember Nightbird. I will never forget
Yeah.
um,
And maybe 2%,
Nightbird.
but
Yeah,
at least it's still a chance.
yeah, 2% chance of survival.
Yeah.
2% isn't zero, is what she said. And I just went, wow, the guts of a 30-year-old woman who ravaged by cancer for a decade already. And her resilience that she had. So she was what I would consider living life and really understanding life. So for those that are listening that don't have cancer, the question for you is, are you living life to the potential that you want to live your life? That's a question that I would ask. And it's not up to me to judge, and I'm not judging. That's just a question that I ask myself too, because sometimes I get caught up in the worry of everything and blah, 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 all these different things, and they don't, at the end of the day, mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
So, what happens when we're at that point where there's not much left to do?
Yeah.
And that is maybe, and there are people that won't see Christmas. It's a pretty sombering thought when you think about it. It's like Christmas is what, 21 days away, so 3 weeks away, and there are people that are fighting cancer right now and will not make it to Christmas. And so what is the encouragement that we have for them, who aren't surviving? So my first thing is, I take a look at my life and I see all the different trauma I've been through. What was the purpose of all of that trauma? And sometimes we have that conversation in our head of, what is the purpose? What's the point? And I think the point is to really learn to live, to really understand that the people that are around you are so important. And your grandmother, Ash, and my mother, she had multiple sclerosis for 48 years. She taught so many people patience. She
Yeah.
taught so many people grace because she didn't have a negative bone in her body. So that's what she taught people, even to the day she died.
Yeah.
She died. Ash was very clear on when she was died, not AM or PM, but the time. Because she
Exactly.
said she was dying at nine, but AM or PM is spirit's always not so clear on that. And so at 9 o'clock at night, actually quarter to nine, we had a beautiful meditation. And this is how she crossed over. She had 12 members of her family in the hospital room. And she actually started a meditation. And I continued the meditation, and she crossed over with the spiritual energy of her loved ones around her. It's like they took her spirit and brought her over to the other side. And the meditation was so beautiful, where we just walked over that bridge and we walked with her over. And she got up and she started dancing. She no longer had any pain. The room was ice cold, so cold. Like it was unbelievable the amount of cold energy that was in the room. And there wasn't a dry eye in the room, but also, looking at my mom, she did something. My brother, he kind of said something, but just before she passed, she moved, her mouth moved like this, and she was saying bye bye. And she hadn't spoken for 3 days. The last thing she said, that I'm aware of, was to me. And she said, Corinne, I am so proud that you are my daughter. Thank you for being my daughter. And I got, you kind of, your first thing is, says, no, you got to fight. There was no fight left. There was no fighting. It was about, Mom, I love you. And that was it. That was the last thing she said. And so her eyes closed, and I don't think they opened again. So, when we cross over, it's not, my belief isn't the end. It isn't the end. My
Mm.
belief is that we go to the other side, and we have work to do on the other side as well. So the work that you're doing here, you continue on the other side. We just find it hard because, like, Carrie Underwood came out with the song Temporary Home. It's like going from, we're in windows and rooms, and we're going from one room to the next room. And that is the whole spiritual conversation. Is we're going from this room to this room to this room. Spiritual, born into human form, dying from human form, going into spiritual form. That was beautiful. So when you think about it that way, it's like, okay, but our linear brain doesn't always get it. Our linear brain, our emotional side, we miss them. Any thoughts, Ash? Now that I've
Lots.
talking. I didn't think I was going to talk this much about this
I know I
subject.
was gonna say, I just feel like I'm a decoration.
No, you're not.
I was like, okay. But yeah, no, it was it's the most difficult conversation to have because this is a final conversation. Like you can talk about your taxes, you can talk about your mortgage, you can talk about your bills, you can talk about your kids. But when you talk about your funeral, you talk about your last wishes, you talk about the life that you're no longer going to have and things are going to change. Like it changes people all around. And it's just like because I was saying to mom, like, mom, like, we said, what are we going to talk about today? And I said, a friend of mine is not coming. Like she said, like the doctor, like, like, and it's like, how many times do we get that call or the test results are in, come see us? And everyone immediately goes, right?
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, and I was saying, like, I said to mom, like, and it's a very somber conversation. It is. But we also, like, I love how you brought in the grandma story, and I'm sitting here just crying away because that was so beautiful. Because the truth
Was.
of it is that this is not the end. It's just a shift. But I always feel like it's funny on my right now journey. It's like I want everyone to get along. I want to turn Earth into utopia, but I don't think that's the point of Earth. I think the point of
No.
Earth is to grow and to shift and to learn and to experience. And then when you do that, you go somewhere else. And again, the what else or wherever else is not the point. But I always say, whenever my method of madness is love is the answer, simplify and add goodness.
Yeah, love is the answer. We keep getting told that answer, but we sometimes, even I, get all upset and worried and all kinds of things. And the answer is love. That's it. So if I'm in love, what am I doing?
Yeah, like your problems will not exist. So another thing too, a lot again, another very sensitive topic is suicide. And people we say on on the social media, unaliving, but it's the one thing you can try to control. Because again, most people they don't fully graduate. I like that expression. My doctor, when Lucas was born, she said he graduated. And I thought that was so beautiful, right? Like he graduated, that's another journey altogether. Like not only are you born into this world, you're born into the spirit world. Like there's such a transition, but the main focus was how can I support my friend and my friends and my family and everyone to appreciate what's happening. It's about just finding the goodness in everything, even because, oh yeah, so that, sorry, the point I was saying was if you were to say, and you didn't want to deal with your problem. So anyone who's thinking about offing themselves, it's a common intrusive thought. I understand why it happens, but the reality is that if you were gone and your problems are gone, you can't do a thing about it. And I can't tell you how many times when you see spirit cross over, how much they wish they could just go back because when they were alive, they were every part of the solution. But the biggest lie that I've noticed and I found, and I want to help as many people as possible, is that if you were to just pretend that you were dead, just say you're dead and like these problems don't exist anymore. What are you going to take back? What do you want to work on? What matters? And it's the same thing when you get the cancer sentence or the cancer sentence. That's kind of what it is. The cancer sentence. You've got
Kind
a
of what it
cancer
is.
sentence. I hope
Yeah,
you
for
don't last
sure.
like, you get out of the sentence or it's a new way to look at it. Anyways, but when you get it, like
The cancer sentence. Yeah,
we,
it is a prison. Like seriously, because all the different levels of
yeah,
grief of your body. Like your body, you're mad at your body, you're mad at your mind, you're mad at
prisoner
everything. I
until
was
you're
mad at everything
free,
anyway.
until you're free from either the cancer, the remission, or everything. It's like a sentence, and it's like, but the second you get it, but that's like when most people don't have that feeling,
Hmm.
right? Where they don't actually have to fight for what they want. They have to fight to be here. They have to fight. And it's not necessarily a fight, but it's like the energy, the narration, you know? I
I
didn't
was reading a book the other day about cancer or an article, and it was like, why do we have to fight cancer?
because we're fighting on the inside anyways. Because
Yeah. So, but why do we have to bring? It just came to me this: why am I bringing that energy to my healing, as opposed to fighting cancer? It's like, is it is there a same amount of energy to fighting cancer as to healing cancer?
yeah,
That whole narrative that we're fighting, and fighting is like push, right? So it's that push,
war.
and it's trying to move away from something, as opposed to healing, which is accepting that this is occurring and sending the energy to heal it as opposed to fight it. And I thought that was pretty powerful to think about that, because I didn't want to fight it anymore. I really just want to um, heal it and
Well,
heal all that it comes with it. Because cancer, in my view, is an emotional issue as well as a physical issue, a spiritual issue as well as a mental issue. So there's a lot of things that get attached to that, and it's, how do I make myself whole?
yeah,
And I think cancer teaches me how to do that.
it does. Yep.
It's interesting how uh
Oh, your sound went funny there.
my
That's okay.
sound went funny.
Yep.
Interesting. Spirit definitely doesn't.
Well, yeah, and also I have to say, like, and this is real life. Like, we don't edit these. This is live. Like, I'm
No,
hearing,
these are just
yeah,
so
I'm hearing
they're
someone in the
impromptu.
house, and I'm like, who's here? And I'm like, I think it's Luke. Like, I think my kid's here, but I'm like, who's in the house? Because I don't know. I'm supposed to be alone here. So whether it's spirit or my
Yeah.
kid, but either way, because I'm what time? I don't know. I'm not expecting anybody here. Could be.
11:24.
Yeah, it could be Luke. But anyways.
It
So
doesn't matter.
anyways, the
So
point, this is live. We are live.
you're not seeing it live, but we're recording it live,
We're
and I don't
recording it
edit
live in
it
real
because I
life.
don't want to,
Yeah.
because this is a real conversation.
Yeah.
So if you're battling cancer, perhaps now is the time to change the verbiage, change the language that you're saying to yourself, however that looks. For
Yeah.
me, I'm no longer battling cancer. Um, I'm now healing it in my body, allowing my body to heal.
Well, that reminds me of my session I did yesterday. I've been working with this lady for almost 4 years now. It's funny. I have a few clients of mine that I have worked with for years.
Sure.
And it's amazing how today, of all the things, we finally figured out that she couldn't trust herself, not because she didn't believe it, but because she has faked how she feels, how she acts, how she pushes, that her body has come to the point where it cannot no longer just keep doing that. And so she's having to face that it was fake, that it was like her pushing herself, her trying to be nice, her being the people pleaser, her being this, and like her being a burden was such a traumatic thing that she didn't want. anyone to be put out to look after her. And I was like, whoa, that's a whole narration of nonsense. Because when you're helping someone, and then she was saying like that her partner was being so like so good. And I said, well, were you appreciative? Are you saying that? And she was like, yeah. And I said, because you're empowering them to look after you. Because that's the one thing that we forget. Like I told my one uncle, like I have one of my uncles I don't like. I went and helped him with his bed bug situation. Okay. Yeah. Naturally, I don't want to spend a day working with bed bugs. Okay. Okay. Don't. But here's the thing. That's another experience in itself, but I knew that my uncle couldn't. And so I went to help him, even though I didn't want to, of course. But because, and then there was, anyways, but that's the reason, like, we do things because they know they need to be done. And it's
Yeah.
not judgment. And again, the story of that uncle a long time away, misery loves company. So just, if you want to be miserable, you can choose to do so. But I tell you what, it's just not nice. And
No.
it's not worth it, because at the end of it, you go to the love and then you realize you wasted so many years being miserable. And right. Oh, by the way, my new toxic trait, I found out my patience is actually stubbornness. So I figured it out, like the truth of it. So just be careful, y'all. Your narration might be that you think you're being so patient, but truly you're being stubborn. So double check that your stubbornness, because that's what I realized. I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. I don't care. I'm not being patient. I'm being stubborn. It's a big awareness and just
Yeah.
right. And I thought, oh my
Oh, that's
God,
hilarious.
he's
That's
talking to
awesome.
me. But it's true.
I'm gonna
So it's
be
awareness.
stubborn.
I'm not, yeah, that's what I said. My toxic trait, which I thought was wonderful to be patient, but no, it's just a way to be stubborn.
Yeah, it's and right.
Yeah. Like
Stubbornness is
I
all
know
about
that
being
all, and I
right.
still, yeah, right.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing for sure.
it is.
It fascinates me how we get layers and layers get revealed to us as we go through things, and that's part of the lovely journey of this lifetime. So so, if you are working through a cancer diagnosis, if you go to the useminars.com website, there are some relaxation recordings there that will help you. Just listening to them and um, just getting relaxed in that point so that you don't have to feel like completely stressed out all the time. I'm working on another program where it is about staying in that relaxed state, and it's getting relaxed before you're stressed. And I think that's key. And that's why having a practice of meditation, and I don't mean sitting in silence, going like this all the time. I don't mean that, although that's very valuable too. It is about conditioning your mind to be calm and to not buy into the lies that our body, our mind wants to tell you. And the lie is that you're not enough. You are enough. The lie is you can't heal yourself. That's not true. You can. The lie is that you're doomed. You're not. And the lie is you can't do anything. That's a lie. All of those things are lies. And regardless of what happens in your life, you have a choice every second of every day to live it fully. And so if you're angry, experience that fully. If you're happy, experience that fully. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like we have a choice to seriously, I could get caught up in listening to all the politics, and I do. I watch the House of Commons, and I get sometimes pretty bent and twisted. I choose to be informed. I choose to, not that I can do anything about it except vote, but I choose to put my energy into helping Canada and helping the world, the United States, because sending that energy out as positive energy, that becomes a really big difference than getting depressed about it, knowing I can't do anything about it. What I can do is be informed. What I can do is send that energy to that positive energy to the healing of our countries. And I think that's most important too. And then if there is something I can do, being aware of it and getting that done, whatever that is, if that makes sense. That's the same thing as my cancer diagnosis. It's like, okay, so pain is here to make me alert. Got it. So what do I need to be alert about? I need to be alert about XYZ. Great. Got that. Now I know how I have any pain. Wonderful.
Do you remember when we used to make it was I Can Survive? It wasn't I
Yeah,
Can,
I
it
can
was I
survive. Yeah,
Can
for
Survive.
sure.
First I was afraid, right? You know, like that song, like I just think like that's what it is, isn't it? Right? And that right? Yeah, just like
Yeah, I can survive.
I
I
can
cancer
survive.
survive. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
love that.
that's the thing, like it's not, and that's so funny. It's yeah, because I just want, and my goal is to help 10 people quit smoking by the end of the year.
That's awesome. I think
So
that's a great
yeah, and
goal.
so I'm very committed to that. So if anyone is interested in quitting smoking, mess.
Sure. And you're great at helping people to do that for sure. That is
Oh, I
kind of
can't tell
your
you. Look, I tell
forte.
my hair, my skin, because I am almost coming up to my 1 year mark.
Oh, that's
I'm
so
at
awesome.
11
I'm so
months
proud
now.
of you.
I know, and I'll never touch it again. And I mean it this time. Last time I quit for 7 months and I was vaping. This time I'm not touching none of that stuff, none of it. And I've learned some new techniques because the truth of the matter is you have to hold yourself accountable. Okay. I'll tell you the secret. You let yourself smoke, you're going to smoke. You hold yourself accountable, you won't smoke. Okay. It's really that simple. The
Yeah.
biggest lie is that we think this little stick, this little prop, this little tick tang tang, it has all the power over us. No, you
Yeah.
give it power. And so if I can help you debunk that myth and you become healthier and stronger, because here's the trick to cancer. If you're a smoker, okay, I don't care if you smoke, because I'm not one of those people. Get as much oxygen as you can in your body. Because
Yeah.
the reason why cancer thrives and goes hard on your body is because it's lack of oxygen and lack of circulation. Get your body moving that stuff out, get it working because it's not can't the reason why cancer happens is because we're not releasing the toxins we put in. That's why
Yep.
certain people can have smoke all day long and they never get anything bad happen to them because they're handling it. So if you are a smoker, do the best you can to get
Exercise.
yeah, just exercise. You know what? And then here's
Yep.
what naturally happens when you get winded from exercising, you're gonna kick the butt because you're gonna know it
Just
is.
don't
That's
check your
really
oxygen when you're winded because usually it's bad.
yeah, I couldn't go upstairs. I couldn't go
Yeah, I
upstairs
still have a
without
hard
getting winded. Now I can go upstairs back and forth. It was like, wow, it's amazing. And also it's a good choice. You don't smell as bad. So many good things. But yeah, that's all I have
Anyway,
to say.
so thank you so much for joining us on Cancer is Not a Death Sentence. If you are struggling with cancer, and I'll be adding another recording today online. So just go to useminars.com and there's a page where there's recordings. They're free. You can download them and listen to them. I know when I first started listening to guided meditations and doing hypnosis, um, I listened to the recordings every day because I was so much in pain. This was in 1992, a long time ago. But that's when I started. And so I have allowed myself the experience of just going into that relaxation and allowing myself to relax before I get stressed so that my stress level is less, which I think is a big thing, and it allows your body to heal because you can't heal in stress. So you can heal in relaxation. And I use the word heal. Please don't hear that we're telling you to ignore your doctor's advice or anything like that. Just don't hear that. Or that we can heal you because we can't.
No. We
But
can heal you like a
you
dog. We can
can
help you
change
walk
the
next to us.
language in your mind that really helps the people around you help you. And I think that's the key. I know that's the key for me. My spiritual team, my medical team, all of them are top notch because that's what I asked for. Please send to me the people that will help me heal this cancer. That's what I'm asking for. That is my wish for you as well. Please send to you the people that will help you heal this cancer. And sometimes death is a healing. Sometimes that is the truth. And that's unfortunate, but that is part of the healing process as well. So we all expire on life. And so it sounds like that's very cold, and it's not meant to be. It's just meant to be. That is the reality. And it isn't easy, not by any stretch of the imagination. I can't imagine what my kids will be like if that happens with me anytime soon. So I keep allowing my body to heal.
Yeah. What
That's
a
it.
doozy to end that one on. Well, I was trying to say a joke, which we could maybe make you feel like walk. But mom was
The
all
segue
business,
into a
which is
joke.
yeah, I was, but mom's all business, which is great, which is why I love her. But yeah, because I'm mostly
Oh,
like
I want to hear the
joker.
joke.
That was it. I was just saying, all I was saying was like, yeah, or we can make you heal, like we'll make you walk, like heal. Because you were saying like we're not
Yeah, I don't
healing,
know that we can
right?
do that, but anyway, I'm very grateful that I get to do this every week with you, Ash. So thank you so much for supporting me on my journey. My children are amazing when it comes to supporting me and their dad. We are very close family, and I'm very blessed to have that. And so hopefully you have the same. And anyway, if we can help, please let us know. Comments below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we are actually starting to work on growing this channel. So if you could subscribe to the channel, then you won't miss any of the videos that we have coming up. I would appreciate it. So would Ash. And if you like the things, just say that you like it, and that would be great. Or comment below too as well. So anyway, have yourself a great, great week, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Sounds good.